not a private, but an unlisted. So as we sit in the sacred ground of Sovereignty Collective, holding heart space for each one of us here, seeing the highest and best unfolding through what is happening to us day by day. We expand that circle out into the world to those who are wondering why, those who are struggling, who are confused, that their call is being heard by this circle, and that there be voices appear in their world that says, here is how, this is what, we have your back, we hear you. And with that expansive circle set, each of us turn to that group that is our specific team for journeying today. For if there is a call being made, we are here to answer a call. And we do not have to worry about what the call is. Our teams know where we can best serve today. And it may be that you'll be taken into the past. You might be taken into the future. What's there that will help us? You may be taken into a parallel moment. Our teams are of integrity, and they will help you travel safely and return you safely. Your bodysuit will be held in that health and vibrancy that Sue brought into the circle, for her body is for all bodies. This physical body is to be energized, blessed as your soul travels. So in your imagination, look around and notice where your starting point is. On the beach, in a grove, under the trees, in the flowers. There is your team waiting for you. Let them greet you. Let them infuse you with their blessings. Receive their blessings for you. And now holding hands or hearts or skipping or quietly walking. Move down the path that they are showing you. Inner earth, outer space, other worlds, neighborhood. Where is it that I am being called to speak, to serve, to bless, to know today? Take with you your questions. Journey safely. If you'd like to turn off your cameras, you can. When you return, you have your journal to record. We'll see you when you are back. Okay, now is where we share our journey if we choose to. You don't have to, it might be personal, and that's totally fine. But this is an opportunity to speak into the circle so that we can hold it for you, but also that we can spread that and expand that gift that you were asked to activate, throughout this whole broadcasting network. So I'll go first. And so for me, it was fairy folk, fairy folk. I don't do fairy folk very often. I mean, very rarely. I think that Northern Gateway with Kelly has opened up that Celtic for me. So there were the fairy folk, and they were excited, and they were dancing around, and they said, "We want to help you share your offerings." And those of you who are in will understand what I'm talking about. If there's somebody is asking, then and you're hearing it, and you're creating a form, then what's the connection between your form, your answer? What led Cinda's son? You see. So what's the connection? They said, we want to help be part of that system of connecting. And I said, okay, that's great. I said, I'm so glad about that, but what do you need from me? And they laughed, and they said, silly, the key's in your pocket. The key's in your pocket. Now, for you who don't know, and most of you don't, before I was even willing to get on this journey, I had a dream, same dream, three times a week apart, in which I was told that I was in this huge house. I'd inherited it from my maternal grandmother. She was living on the porch, and I had now moved onto the porch with all of my children, which I had 9 at the time. Why was I living on the porch when I had the whole house to expand into? And I said, well, nobody's been in that house a long time. I don't think I'd have the money to renovate it. I don't even know how to, I don't know. And instantly I was in the house, in a bedroom, all beautiful, ready to go, clothes laid out. The end of the dream. The third dream, I was not in a bedroom. I was in the kitchen, beautiful country kitchen, looking out over the green. But I'm standing outside. I don't even have a key to get into the house. And they said, it's in your pocket. So it's the same thing. It's in your pocket. So I guess I have a key in my pocket. I'm going to take time to go into that circle to do a journey to when did I put that key in my pocket. My maiden name, maybe M-A-B, when I look up, it comes from the French derivative of Mob, Queen of the Fairies. So I think this must be my maternal ancestry coming together. And the last few days I've been listening to a murder mystery, and before every chapter they have this quote from Queen of the Fairies by Edmund Spenser. So it's like, okay, I hear you. So I've got my job to do. So evidently they're going to be part of that spreading of the information, but I got to take my key out of the pocket. And so I'm complete. Emma.
So I am witnessing a man in sandals walking through the desert. He is bloody and battered. He's weeping. I walk up to him and offer water. He takes it without looking at me. He takes a small swallow and returns the bottle. He continues walking slowly and painfully, and I point out a shade where he can rest. He shakes his head. No rest, he whispers. No rest for me. My sins are pushing me, biting my heels. I take his arm and lead him to the shade anyway. I offer more water to wash his face. He takes the cloth and wipes away the blood and the tears. He sits, exhausted, looks at me briefly, and then down at the ground. I call in the PTO and ask for deep six. I call on his team and ask for tag healing. I place a guardian circle around him, and he slumps over to sleep. I am not there to rescue him or to care for him. I have opened a space for him to heal. I don't know who he is or what he has done. That is between him and spirit. I have done what I was called here to do. I leave him at the water I leave him the water and cloth and ensure the shade will cover him for some hours until the moon rises. I leave him some bread and fruit. It is enough. And I will call on Arlie.
I also found myself in the desert, and I was looking at a nomadic tribal setup with the woven goat hair tents and the community walking around in the long desert clothes that keep moisture into the body. And I saw that this place is absolutely infested with parasitic energy. Women are chattel. The only way they can get status is in their husband's eyes. Suddenly I realized that I'm in, or I think I'm in, Abraham's encampment with Sarah and Hagar. Does everybody know that story, or should I give a brief rundown? Yes,
Give a brief rundown.
Okay, so Abraham was married to Sarah and Sarah was barren. This is biblical, Old Testament stuff. And so Sarah says, hey, I got this handmaiden. You go bang my handmaiden and get yourself some offspring. What does Hagar have to say about this? Nothing. So she has a kid, and then lo and behold, Sarah gets pregnant too, and she has a kid. Well, now that Abraham has 2 kids, Sarah wants hers to be ascendant. And so she kicks Hagar out of the encampment, basically kicked out of the encampment, you're going to die. In the biblical story, Hagar goes out into the desert and she's wandering around and she realizes death is near. She lays the baby down. She goes and sits down herself, and a being comes to her and says, hey, Abraham was promised that all of his children, that he's going to have more children than there are flies and cockroaches, basically, more offspring. So the angel makes sure that Hagar and her son are going to be fine. And they are. And of course, Abraham and Sarah have their kid goes on to be the father of generations also. That's background story. So I'm in this group and I decide that the parasitic energy is what I'm there to take care of. So I put up a guardianship circle, call in the PTO, do all of the steps, parasites leave. The women start hugging each other. There's tears. Everything is changed. The men are kind of like, what just hit me? But the women are relieved and happy and joyful. Then there's like this, when you see through the mirror from the other side, Hagar was there when I left after this healing thing. She hadn't been kicked out yet. But then I was taken out to the desert where she was kicked out, and this being approaches, and son of a bitch, this is not an angel that rescued Hagar. This is a parasite who could hardly wait to cause all this dissension. Hagar's son became the father of the Arabs, all of the Arabs. And Sarah's son became the progenitor of the Jews, something like that. But anyway, it's the 2 sides, the warring factions. So I got rid of him, deep sixed him, and I brought in a new, I talked to her guides. There was no being. I talked to her guides. I wanted to bring in a being. I couldn't make one appear. Brought in her guides to lead her back to the encampment that had been healed. And she did go back and she was welcomed with open arms. And the story changed. So that's where I went and that's what I did. And I would like to call on Angelique.
Thank you, Arlie. When I started the journey, my team was waiting and sitting on a huge roots of a huge tree, on the big roots all together. They were just waiting for me, and showed me a path, and it was a white sand path, and it was curling through a field. And I don't know how you call these flowers in English, but these are little bushes, and they are purple, and I think we call it heide. Is it hay, or I don't know.
Lilac?
Sorry?
Lilacs?
No, it's not lilacs. It's bushes, and in there pretty like little trees like this. But then a whole field, and they are purple little flowers. And yeah, I will look up the word. I don't know.
What do you call them, Angelique?
We call it heide, Haide, heide.
Okay.
Yeah. Fields of heide, I don't know. But I felt I was being led to a new world, and stepping through an energetical doorway. And this doorway is like a porch. And as soon as I passed this porch, I was lifted and floating higher and higher, surrounded by the team. And the team was just, yeah, pushing me up, like the energy pushes up. And I felt an incredible peace within and surrounding me. There were buzzing sounds and rainbow colors, and with me, and my ears and my eyes were filled with that. And I realized I was showed a pathway through layers and layers of subconsciousness, and different stages of getting loose of the Mother Earth, just leaving her behind. I saw myself being guided to a field of energy, and see myself discovering only my let's see, only my unbound soul travels further. So I'm more and more unbound, and my soul travels further into nothingness. And I'm traveling through a field of chaos and disharmony. And then a layer of pure colored beauty. And I know that this all is nothing and everything together at the same time. And this where I am, I wonder if I'm showed a stage of afterlife and a last journey, or is it to show to me to be able to send these comforting images to the soul of my mom and help her passing over. So she is not earthbound anymore, but she hesitates to leave. And I feel my body shivering inside. And although I know I have no body no more, I'm traveling further still. And there's only a deep sense of quiet and peace. And I don't need anything. That's it. And I go to Sue.
Thank you, Angelique. At some point in the meditation, I fell asleep. And I haven't done that. I don't know why that happened. But in the beginning, it just felt that everything, all of this new information is all coming in, it's settling, it's confirmation, it's for encouragement, it's for support. And that some of us are supposed to live a very long time because we're supposed to hold energy we're supposed to do our work, continue to do our work. And there's a lot of new people coming in that need the old souls. The old souls have just been around a long time, and we've learned greed isn't the passage. Greed isn't the right way to go. It is. I'm getting a noise, but I can't think it's. Okay, that's not it. So it was just really soothing and comforting what I got, and that I am supposed to be right here where I am in my little room with a view, because it frees me up from a lot of responsibility if I had my own place. And that's how they want me, but that's how my higher self wants me. I'm not being plagued with problems or big challenges. It's all inside work, and it's all coming together, and it's all the way it's supposed to be. And I'm to focus on the new reality within me, the new reality for planet Earth, the new reality for humanity, and keep believing in quantum leaps. And my spirit team is just going to keep feeding me information as much as I can take it in, whether it comes directly from them or I get sent right to a YouTube station, a YouTube recording. I'm going to be just keep getting information until I have enough that it's really, really clear. Although my sister works in groups and I work one-on-one, and I keep thinking I should be doing it different, but I'm getting that it may be different, but right now it is what it is. And just, could you just accept things the way they are? So it was very soothing for me. And Cinda, have you gone yet? Okay, Cinda.
So charmed. So I didn't know quite where I would go, but I was really hoping that I'd have let's battle the parasites thing like Arlie had, because that's really what I wanted to do. I was in the mood. Arlie, how powerful. And instead it was just me. It was very deeply personal. And I was taken to an island up in the San Juan Islands, and I was placed by a tree where I'd sprinkled a portion of my father's ashes a few years ago. And my father usually shows up as one of my guides when I journey with Sharon. And I don't know if he was there or not. I didn't know why I was there, but Sharon by then was talking us, leading us to go down a path. And so I was going down the path that we had walked to this tree to sprinkle his ashes. And I was, anyway, I was doing that. And then all of a sudden I realized that what I needed to be asking my team about was my thyroid, because my thyroid has been having issues, and ultrasound showed a node on my thyroid. So I've been doing a lot of health cleansing and clearing and energetic work, as well as dietary work and in real life. And so I started to ask about it, and I was shown the image of a butterfly. And I know that our thyroid is shaped like a butterfly. I was shown the image of a butterfly, but one wing is still sort of stuck in its cocoon where the node is, and it was stretching and trying to break free of this containment. And she was breaking through free, and she was stretching, and things were still sticky. And And, she's almost there. She's almost there. She's almost ready to fly. And I realized that as my thyroid has been healing, because I've also been shown that the whatever this is going in reverse, that it was worse quite a while ago, and it's actually been healing. And that healing, especially with Sharon's help, has been continuing. But what's remarkable is I have been freaking stagnant since 2014. I mean, I've had clients and I've had beauty and I've had life and I've published a book but what was required out of me to go so deeply within to write, which Audrey was reminding me of in her story, going so deeply in, I lived the life of an extrovert and I had become an introvert, and that introvertness has stuck with me all the way up to 2021, which is fine, and I've been loving it, but it's also been really stagnant. There hasn't been a huge amount of expansion or growth in my spiritual work. And I realized that the containment, the cage that my thyroid has been living in is now, as she's breaking out of her cocoon, I will be too. And the level of ascension, kind of going to that quantum thoughts that Sue's talking about, is just around the corner for me. It's just there. So I just need to continue on the path, literally, that I am on in my healing of my thyroid. I need to let her stretch. I need to let her wings open. I need her to release that which has contained her so she can fly, so I can ascend to the next level of whatever it is I'm supposed to do in my life. That was extraordinary. So thank you. And Audrey, have you gone yet? You have to.
No, I haven't. Thank you. You know, I remember some of my journey, but not all of it. So I'd just like to process it for now, if that's okay with everybody. And I'd like to call on Gail, please.
Thank you, Audrey. I'll share part of my journey. My guides took me to spend some time with my Divine Star family of curiosity. And so I was basking in the energy and the healing and they were just showering me with pureness, just really pureness, and showing me that that's all there is. That a lot of what stops me in life is all these stories that I go into. And so I just really spent quite a while basking in the energy of my star family. And then they showed me that all I need to do is focus and take action. And they showed me a couple of conversations that I had with potential customers or clients, and the conversations went really easily and really smoothly. And so that just a couple of conversations went on, and the people were very receptive, and everything was beginning to flow. And what kept coming back and coming back was focus and take action. Focus and take action. And that's what I'd like to share. Thank you.
Wow. It's great to be together, isn't it? And each of us, by each of us being focused into the portion of the whole that we are being called to in this moment, the whole is covered, in amazing ways, So before we close, is there anything anyone wants to say as we bring our meeting to a close and put that energy out?
Yes,
Arlie.
I'm spoke. Hagar's son wasn't the father of Arabs, he was the father of Islam. I needed to add that
Oh,
clarity. Because there's definitely a difference between Arabs and Islam.
mhm.
So I'm done.
It was really, to have, I mean, we all didn't have to do that, but that was a powerful healing. And then what each one of us did is a powerful healing and claiming and foundation setting. I think we're going to like it Mondays. So thank you all for being here. Anything else that we want to say? Angelique's there.
Yes, I only want to say thank you to all of you because although you are so far away, you are all in my heart and I feel your spirit and your love. And I'm really blessed by it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are in our hearts, Angelique, and happy birthday, Emma, from last weekend. Was it last Saturday? Okay, happy birthday. And we just need to keep each other in our hearts because some of you are in really difficult challenges, but you're meant to go through it. You're supposed to go through it and come out stronger.
Can we sing to Emma?
You can if you want to. Emma, would you be okay with that?
Sure.
So I wish I knew the birthday song that my 7-year-old grandson was taught. It was really wonderful, but I don't know it that well to teach you. And I'm not a great singer anyway. So have at it with Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday, dear Emma. Happy birthday to you.
and
More.
more.
And the puppy came to hear.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, look.
So as we close our circle, let's just imagine and send that energy out, blessed, triple, double, 10 times out into the world. And until we meet again, you
Thank
are
you,
all in our hearts for sure.
Well, and I think that the journey that Arlie went on is standard operating procedure for getting rid of the parasites. And for those that are new to the group that aren't aware of it, we just can witness on the news the impact of the work that Arlie did, how that energy has shifted everything. I can feel it, Arlie. I can feel that shift of the going back in time and changing the dynamics and recognizing the insertion of the parasites, pretending to be something they weren't.
That was
From
awesome.
your lips to God's ears, believe me. We
I
know
mean,
Oh,
it was
Angelique.
you're over there.
Angelique, it's called Heather.
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 Yeah. It's Heather. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Thank you.
Which is a very fairy kind of a flower.
Yeah.
very, very, very much Celtic also. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Heather. Yeah, that's it. Little purple flowers.
Yeah, little teeny.
And that was beautiful. And then you have this white sandy path going through it. It's different than sand which you find on the beach.
Yeah.
It's earthly sand. It's quite different.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a beautiful way to walk there.
We'll
I
keep
like
you-
to adjust. I have my birthday on Wednesday, and so is
Oh.
Robert.
Oh,
We both have birthday the same day.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
hey.
Yeah.
And Gail, I feel abundance,
we're coming
career
up.
abundance coming your way with the authority in which you owned it, no doubt.
Beautiful.
And Sue, your quantum leaps, I mean, oh my gosh, I think this is just really, really an extraordinary group today.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Are we the quantum leaps?
Oh.